Dude, I just came across a post on Facebook. It's 11:30 and the post is this. Okay? It says, oh there. Mom to mom, have you ever stayed up way too late because nighttime was the only part of the day that felt like yours? And I just figured it out. Exactly. Nighttime is when everything is quiet, peaceful, time for myself. And that's when I get my most of my reading done, because during the day it's just like chores, kids, stuff to do, you know. Hello. So I finished There Is No Antimemetics Division by qntm or Quantum. This is a sci-fi horror book, and when I started this book, by chapter 2 I was like, this is a 5-star book. This is gonna be my favorite book of 2026. Like, it really set me up. Okay, and then towards the end of the book I gave it like 3 stars. But okay, now that I have finished, I mean, it simmered in my mind for about a week already since I finished. I think I'm giving it 4 stars. So this book is a sci-fi horror, and basically the story is there is this some kind of foundation slash organization. Think of it like Men in Black, but not focusing just on aliens, but unknown creatures that are especially dangerous, that it needs to be secured, contained, so that they won't wreak havoc in human, like in the earth. And we focus on the creatures that are anti-memes, which they're called. And I guess the best way to explain what they do or how they cause problems is if you juxtapose them with memes, the mimetic creatures. So there's a mimetics division and there's an anti-mimetics division. So the mimetics division, they focus on creatures that kind of like take an idea or have an idea of their own and then trying to spread it across. Like, that's their main goal, is to spread the idea. And this is especially dangerous if the idea is like, hateful, and would, it happens, it's happening, it's sort of like that, like planting this seed or this thought that a particular group of people are dangerous. We need to eradicate, like Nazism, that kind of thing. But then these mimetic creatures, they help spread this dangerous ideologies around, so that's why they're dangerous, right? Okay, now we go to the anti-mimetics division. The people in this division then are trying to contain and neutralize, destroy, if that's even possible, but it's really not. The creatures that, so there's an idea, and then they make sure that that idea does not spread. And it's especially dangerous because, for example, the main character Marie, okay, the story starts with her going into the organization, going up the X level floor, whatever, to meet up with her boss. And then when the boss meets with her, he's like, okay, what do you want? And she's like, yeah, my name is Marie, and I am your chief of anti-mimetics department. I mean, anti-mimetics division. And then he's like, we don't have an anti-mimetics division. And that's a problem. Like, the people in this division keep forgetting that their department exists, plainly because it's part of the job. It's the nature of the job. That's why they have these medicine. They have these pills that they take so that they don't forget these facts. Because anti-mimetic creatures, their goal is to wipe your memory, eat your memories. I guess that's the best way to say it. And there are creatures that are, for example, there's this one unknown creature, I forgot, 5125, I forgot the number. So it's all numbers, right? The only thing that it eats, the only memory it eats is like the memory of riding a bicycle. Like they did an experiment, like putting a bunch of people in with this creature, and then they forget how to ride a bike in a matter of seconds. But the thing is, they discovered that after like 3 hours of like trying to teach this person who's forgotten how to ride a bike, it learns again. But then when they meet again with this creature, they forget how to ride the bike. So it's that kind. Sometimes it's like hyper specific. Sometimes, okay, there's this very cute anti-mimetic pet that our main character has. Shows up as a glint in her eye, like she sees it in her peripheral vision as this like sunlight type of thing. She calls it sunshine. And this pet, exotic pet, anti-mimetic pet, she was able to domesticate it. So it only eats memories that she wants to feed it. Okay, so she produces tasty memories on purpose, she says, so that it won't eat anything important. Okay, and sometimes at night she reads trivia books because that little glint of light loves it. So there's that. And then the thing that got me a little bit confused right in the middle was that there's this like a bunch of stories that seem so unrelated, but then after a while, like I realized, oh, so that's how that's connected. Like when you're reading the book or right after reading the book, you feel like it doesn't make any sense, or like, why are you telling me this? But then it actually makes sense. And actually reading this book is so hard to grasp because there's absolutely no hand holding. The author just tells you, okay, this happens, okay, and then you just have to deal with it. Like, and the part that it's not even like physical, like, you know how in Project Hail Mary it's physics, it's chemistry, well, mostly physics, right? Yeah, so it's easy to understand because there's something tangible that you're working with. But in this book it's metaphysical because it's all about thoughts and ideas, and that's how they're fighting. Like, how can you fight something that you can't explain in words? Like when you take a picture of like an unknown creature, let's say with a Polaroid, it will develop and you won't see anything. It's like a self-erasing kind of creature. And also there is this, like, if you write about it, describe it, what it does, it is a, like when someone else reads it, it's gonna not make sense, and later on when you read your own notes, it's not gonna make sense. And so that's the challenge with these anti-mimetic creatures, is that how can you defeat something that you can't study about, because each time you see it, it's a new thing, unless you put it on the database, you know, with all the unknown creatures. But that, you know, that's just the thing with their department. And dude, I think I kind of want to reread this book and do a like read along reaction type of video, because I feel like there's a lot to discuss and a lot to share. And I'm already blabbed for about 5 minutes regarding this book. But yeah, I liked it. At the beginning, super loved it. Middle, towards the end, especially towards the middle, it really lagged, okay, for me. And then towards the end, I was like, okay, 3 stars. And then right now, I'm like, you know, I still keep on thinking about it. So I can't really say that it's a bad book because it's very, very clever, but sometimes a little bit too clever. And that is a bit of a problem, because if you are not in the mood to read something that will make you feel exhausted, then this won't be the book for you. Yeah. So that's my quick review of There Is No Antimemetics Division. I liked it. I liked it. Dude, I was folding the clothes and I was putting like my husband's clothes in his closet, right? And this is the cutest thing I've ever seen. Okay, ever. So my daughter left him a note here. Daddy, you good. You the good. Wow, daddy cool. Wow, good daddy. Dude. I'm guessing like so when he opens his cabinet, he's gonna see it. Yan Yan is so sweet. Hello. So would just like to note that I am back to ironing because tomorrow is Yan Yan's first day of school, of first grade. So not really exciting. Well, it is, but I just don't like ironing clothes. However, the good news is the sleeves no longer have those ruffles, so it's much easier. Okay, so her skirt is also shorter this time, so it's much easier. Almost done. I'm almost done. So I really want to get it done because I want to finish the book that I'm reading. Alex won her first WTA title. In Mubadala. WTA 500. Oh my god. Like, I can't even believe it. Like, I am, just pacing. Okay, we're on the way to school. Right, Yan Yan? It's her second day. Yesterday was the first day. And it's 6:30. Actually, they woke up at 5. And the schedule is she won't be able to eat lunch at home, so we're having heavy breakfast. Ooh, why is the autofocus off? Okay, just picked up Yan Yan. Oh, what happened? Oh, wait, I give you wipes. Hello vlog, what's up? So I actually have finished 2 books since the last update that I made here. The first one is a novella. It's Unstrung by Neal Shusterman, and this is a novella that goes between book 1, which I've finished reading, and book 2. So this novella sort of explains where Lev, one of the main characters from book 1, how he came to be one of the terrorists. Because there's this group of people, they're called clappers. And the reason why they're called clappers is because they have injected this kind of explosive liquid in their bloodstream. And then if they clap, they're gonna explode. So basically like suicide bombers, but instead of like actually detecting the bomb attached to that person, they gotta clap to activate it, or if they're impacted by something very strong, so it's possible if they get shot or if someone punches them too hard, they're gonna explode. And they do this because they have this sense of fight the system even if it costs my life. You know how when people go to the extremes to fight for their beliefs, right? And as we know in book 1, Lev actually is the face of, they're saying, a rebellion. Okay, because he had the opportunity to, I think that's a spoiler, so never mind. So anyway, that is the focus of that novella, and I gave it like 3.5 stars. And not because of Neal Shusterman's writing, not really because of the plot, but I'm guessing because I'm not that interested in Lev as a character right now. But as we know with Neal Shusterman books, he just knows how to develop a character. Like in Sight, there was this one character that I really hated, so annoyed, and almost sometimes I feel like I want to skip the parts with that character. But then towards the 3rd book, I'm like, okay, what happened? So there's that kind of character development sometimes that happens. So I am excited where my attachment with Lev would go. So there's that. And then after that, I finished reading The Night We Met by Abby Jimenez. Would I say this is my new favorite Abby Jimenez? Probably not. I still love Yours Truly the best. But what I love about The Night We Met is that it touches on a topic that is kind of taboo. I mean, not really taboo. Okay, so the main female protagonist, she gets with her boyfriend's best friend. Okay, so that's why it's a little bit maybe cringy, because we have this sense of bro code or girl code. Like, if someone in your circle has already been the boyfriend or girlfriend of this person, you tend to not get interested in that person. But like, I kind of get the circumstances here. They're best friends, they met her at the same time, but then she goes with her current boyfriend. But there was nothing there actually in the beginning. But I liked it. It was green flags all the time. Abby Jimenez knows how to write green flag boy characters that you would just swoon over. The female characters, I'm like, okay, whatever, dude. There's nothing particularly likable about. Okay, so what is our main character's name? I'm thinking of Samantha and Xavier from Say You'll Remember Me. Larissa. Okay, Larissa is the main female character and Chris is the main guy. So Larissa is a hard worker. So as opposed to other Abby Jimenez protagonists who are doctors, successful, people, this main female character, Larissa, is living paycheck to paycheck, struggling with life, basically just having to do multiple odd jobs to get by. And then our Chris is a pharmacist. Okay, and actually, you know what, my favorite part of this book is the best friend. The best friend character is so funny. I mean, I think I have this comment every time I read a Abby Jimenez book. The main female character's best friend is impeccable humor, breaking the tension, keeping it light. I'm forgetting the term for that. When things get a little bit really dark and heavy, not really dark, but heavy, and then there comes a breather over here that makes you laugh out loud and just yes. So this particular book, like I said, it's quite controversial. 397. I think that's a low score for an Abby Jimenez book, because she usually gets, the 4 point somethings. But I'm guessing it's because, so it's 4.3, 4.2, 4.29. These are the typical ratings for Abby Jimenez books. But I think because it's the, like I said, messing with the bro code kind of. But you know what? It's actually reasonable. Well, for me, it's not that bad. Or maybe, people who have read this and have experienced the same thing. Maybe not so good. Okay, so anyway, those are the two books that I've read. Okay, and what I'm currently reading now is called The Housewife by Natalie Barelli. And this book is just a random recommendation that I came across one of my book groups on Facebook. This one lady, she posted the cover of this book and she's like, has anyone read this book, and can you please recommend me more like it? And then I'm just randomly took this recommendation because it seemed like she really liked it. And so I am currently 75% through. 50%, it starts out really fast. Okay, basically it's about this woman who she really loves cleaning and cooking. She wants to be a wife. That's her goal. And she lands this famous author / psychologist. And so they're married, but she is actually the second wife of the psychologist. He had a first wife, and it seems like this first wife is just her ghost. I mean, okay, the first wife is dead, so her ghost, figuratively, is like, I mean, our main character is living in her shadows. Okay, basically that. And then there are other secrets that get revealed. This main character, she is quite insane. Like the thought processes are like, okay, so for example, like right at the beginning, it opens with her having this dinner party with her neighbors, her husband's friends specifically. Well, yeah, they're all friends. But these friends also knew the first wife, so she kind of feels like, are they comparing me with the first wife? But anyway, so this one friend made a comment about her. I don't even remember the comment, because what I can remember clearly is that our main character, Jody, getting so pissed at Meredith, the friend, she commented, and then she's like, oh, really? Okay. And then she heads to the kitchen, and then, she sets up the cake. And then she slides in a shard of glass in the slice of cake that is meant for Meredith. Like, she is that crazy, okay? And here's my boy. And she gets crazier than that. But what I do like about her is she goes a little bit cuckoo, but then also like backtracks a bit and comes to her senses, but not in a repentant way. She's like, oh, fine, okay, I have to make friends, and then she pulls out the shard of glass, like, but still, like, the fact that you can do that, like, even just thinking about it is crazy. So there's that. And okay, towards the 50% part of the book, it started to feel a little bit too comical. Like, I'm starting to think, like, is the author purposefully redirecting me to this conclusion so that I, obviously red herring, blah blah blah, might be possible. It's an enjoyable read, but not groundbreaking. Yeah, so that's the current read. And for life updates, I'm picking up Yanyan in 2 hours. It's 10 a.m. though. In 2 hours, and I actually need to do some grocery shopping, but it's been raining so hard. We'll see if I can bring you along vlog. Guys, Alex is on the brink of winning round 2. She had to buy in round 1. She's in Toronto. Okay. Yeah, she did it!
The Washington champion brings her winning run to Canada.
Okay. So I was really looking forward to her versus Noskova, but Noskova lost.
And the expectation.
She got upset by McNally, so she's gonna be fighting McNally. Hopefully she wins.
What an incredible
She might go for another deep run here in the National Bank Open. Oh, and I also finished The Housewife by Natalie Barelli, and I gave it 2 stars. Oh, by the way, Yanyan doesn't have school today because there's a typhoon signal. But why is it not raining? It was raining hard yesterday, but I think it might rain in the afternoon. Okay, anyway, 2 stars for The Housewife. I was really enjoying this book. Okay, and then there's this part of it that has the unhinged aspect, which I absolutely love. But like I said, it's like going a little bit too... going to the cuckoo part, but not the enjoyable kind. Especially markedly because of the writing. Okay, the thing about her writing, okay, so towards the middle it was like okay, right? I mean, it was good, and then it became okay, and then from the middle part to the end it just deteriorated. I think because this author did not know how to do the reveals without doing too much or telling too much. Like, my problem was with Antimemetics Division, there's no Antimemetics Division, was that it gave so little. Like, it just told you this and then it's up to you to think about it. This book did the exact opposite. Where it just told me every single thing, made sure that no loops were untied. No loose ends. Why didn't I expect that ending? I'm so bad at expecting what's gonna happen in thriller books, but I do give it props for being very fast-paced. But I just don't like how the way the author is telling me the story as if I am like, do I really need all those details? Well, reading is subjective. Yeah, so that is for The Housewife by Natalie Barelli. Okay, actually I was gonna start another book, but I think I'm gonna end this vlog now because I think I blabbed so much. Oh no, there's the rain. There's the rain. See, Yan, that's why classes were canceled. She couldn't understand why classes were canceled because it wasn't raining. Yeah. But at least they're having fun with their break. And it's so loud. Okay, anyway, thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next vlog.